30 millimeters of rain last night, just absolutely ideal. I don't want to jinx myself by saying this, but we missed the severity of the weather last night and we were provided with just absolutely the most beautiful rain that you could ask for. And it's a good thing we have our hives in 3 now, because, well, we're going through and that bottom, the second is full of honey, and they've half filled that third already with nectar. Now we've had all this rain. We're driving by fields that are just nicely, freshly in bloom, and we're gonna see a flow here. So hang on, we gotta get fourths. What we're doing now is, with my continued fuss throughout the apiary and my continued, building of these colonies into massive honey producing units, what we've done is we've taken that queen, we've moved her down to the bottom box, put the excluder in. That job's done. We've added space on top, got the third going. But what we need to do is, because of all the disruption we provided by moving that queen down out of that second, there's brood in that second box. My crew is fairly trained with their eye and spotting cells, but we cannot allow any type of queen development in that second box, because she's going to be trapped up there over the excluder and cause us headache later on when we try to pull this honey off to harvest. So what Carrie and I do is we go through very quickly and we just take a quick peek into that second box just to see if there's any developed queen cells. Some of them are supersedure cells, right? Some of them are emergency cells because there is casualty to that queen. Like, we try our hardest to work these hives as carefully as we can, but we get going, we're going through the colonies pretty fast. We do occasionally kill a queen through this work. So in that case, we'll find emergency cells up into that second. We got to make sure those are all killed off and only leave the cells down the bottom. Basically what we're doing is, I'll show you what, we take that third box off, we shift it to the colony behind us. So we're kind of shifting bees back and forth. This helps with a little bit of merger. How many days are we after we shook this yard down? It was last week, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're at least 7 days, 5 days, 7 days since we've moved the queens down. So if there's any trouble up top here with cells, we should be able to see the evidence very obviously with little peanut shaped protrusions going down. So we just go through, leaf through. If we don't see anything, back on top. If we see something, just strike it with a knife. Nothing's going on in this colony. All the larvae is too old to now develop into a queen, so it is good to go. We shall have no virgin trouble there at all. So on to the next hive, and it's basically just taking that third. This is just helping us with our lifting a little bit. Throw it back into the colony behind us. Those bees, they're gonna maybe complain a little bit by all of a sudden being thrown on top of another colony, but there's like 3-4 frames of bees up there. They will mingle with the rest of them just as we merge back and forth or drop frames of bees back and forth. If you tip it back, you can see the cups at the bottom. The cups are not really of any worry. We like to strike them down anyways, just so those bloody bees don't bring eggs up into the top. But you just kind of work through like pages in a book. That looks like cells to me. Nope, those are just very well defined cups.
Yeah, no eggs.
Nothing in there, nothing going on. All the brood is mature. And we just flip the page in the book and nothing going on. That's what we want to see. So about half an hour later, out of this yard of 40, I struck down maybe 3 cells, which would have been a real pain in the ass when we try to come through and pull the honey off. So this work is pretty important work. It seems like a lot of fussing, but we have to make sure that there is no type of brood nest or virgin queen up in these top boxes as we're trying to pull these boxes away when we're trying to harvest them later on in July. Nothing screws things up like little virgins running around where you don't want them. So we're going through and find emergency cells every once in a while. So I have a 1% rule as we go through the colonies, as we do our work within the apiary, especially with this intensive work where we move the queen down and we're a little bit forceful with it. I do expect, I call it a 1% rule, where we do have casualties of these queens from time to time, and that 1% rule seems to be following suit through our work right now. We're through a few hundred hives already and we've found 2, so there's my 1%. So we'd obviously accidentally killed this queen through our work for whatever reason. It happens, and they're making emergency cells now. And we've spotted that, so I've struck down all the emergency cells in this colony up in the top box. And I'm going to take that one frame, I'm going to move it down to the bottom. I don't want to disturb them too much. I'm assuming they're making emergency cells below, but I want to make sure they do have that resource of a new queen coming. So in about a week that queen's going to emerge here. And hopefully she'll go out, mate, come back and reestablish this colony and, you know, salvage everything that's going on in here. And we'll check back maybe in a few weeks just to see to update to see what's going on, to see if she was able to mate properly and reestablish. And if she has, we'll just mark it as a salvage. If not, just a casualty. Then you get going through colonies that a simple supersedure cell was missed. Beautiful little cell about to emerge. So that is going to be struck down because it's been shaken.